And it should help alleviate, it should help pretty much eliminate any disagreements, any fights about money, as long as y'all, it's Shari K, and around here we discuss personal development and personal finances to help you live a full, wealthy life. It turns out that money fights and disagreements about money are like the second leading causes of divorce, the second leading cause for divorce in the United States. And that just blew my mind. In this video, I'll share my top tools for virtually eliminating disagreements and fights about money. So I was sitting on the couch with a laptop with Excel open, and we were creating our very first spending plan. And this is when we got into our first fight about money. So as I was doing my little spreadsheet, I'm an Excel girl, put the numbers in, tracking everything like that. I came across one of, my husband had money going to an account that I hadn't been tracking. So I asked him about this account and where was the money going. And I was like, we need to add it to the spreadsheet to allocate all the money, because I like to use a zero-based budgeting. I mean, at the end, every dollar is accounted for, and at the end, it all totals out to zero. And when I said that, his body just got so stiff and uncomfortable, and his voice became very just stern and matter of fact. He was like, no, don't track that account. Don't track that amount of money. And I was like, I didn't understand. I'm like, but why? We need to track it. We're trying to pay off debt, do this and that. He was like, then he said, no, because if I want to buy you a gift or something, then you're going to always know how much the gift cost, what gift I got you, where I got the gift from. And so when he said that, I just let it go. I realized that was something that he felt strongly about. And at that point, I needed to let that go. Now, during this time when we had our laptop spending plan session, this was the first fight, if you want to call it that, or disagreement that we had about money. And it was also the last fight or disagreement that we had about money. This spending plan is really the glue that holds all this together, because in creating that spending plan where we allocated, every dollar to go somewhere, minus his own little account, but everything else, when we allocated every dollar to go somewhere, we created pretty much our plan. So from that point forward, it just caused us to follow the plan that we had in place. So we didn't have to have we didn't have to have frequent money talks or talks about money, because as long as we were going in line with what the plan said, then we were good. Now, if we were going to try to deviate from the plan in some way or do something different from the money for whatever reason, then he can talk to me, I could talk to him. Usually we're on the same page. Like maybe say there was like a death in the family. We had to take money out of our savings or something to get plane tickets because this is when we lived away from family. Things like that, we're usually on the same page about stuff like that. But normal everyday stuff, household bills and stuff, we don't have to regularly communicate about things like that, because we have the plan. We just stick to the plan of what we said. Now, when making the spending plan, the spending plan not only covers things like, the mortgage or the rent and the water bill, the light bill, those fixed expenses, but it can also cover things that are not as fixed. Like, well, what do you do when you get that extra income tax money? What do you do when you get that nice little stimulus check? What do you do when you get the bonus at your job? Or what happens when in those areas that the income is not fixed or that the expense is a variable? How do you allocate those? And an example, something that you could do is that you could say any extra money, we'll allocate it like 70% will go towards be put into the savings, 30% will be put towards paying off our debt. Or depending on what stage you are, you could say 50% of anything extra goes towards paying off debt, and the other 50% we just split between us, and it's called our below money. So all of that is laid out in your spending plan. So having the spending plan helps to resolve future financial disagreements. Granted that you are following what the plan says, you are doing what you guys set in place, and then reevaluate the plan every so often, however you need, on a quarterly basis, a yearly basis. Okay, it went away. So a quarterly basis, a yearly basis, whatever basis you have to reassess the plan, do that. But okay, now with this plan and also saying how it helps to eliminate disagreements or fights about money, this is taking into consideration or assuming that you have a healthy partner. This is assuming that your partner is not mentally ill or has an addiction such as a gambling addiction or a drug addiction, or any of those other addictions out there that will pull on your finances. If you are with a partner that is not a healthy partner for you, by all means use your intuition. If you need to keep your money separate, if you need, whatever I can't even dig into what all you need to do. Use your intuition and seek help. You know what you need to do. And my suggestion would not be to commingle your funds at that point if you are with a partner that you cannot trust financially. With having the spending plan and creating that spending plan up front, it kind of helps to align your goals. So what are you and your partner's goals? Is your goal to pay off debt? Is your goal to reach FIRE, the financial independent, retire early? Is your goal just to have a lot of extra money? And is your goal to invest in real estate, in the stock market? Like, what are your financial goals? I mean, inside of the relationship, there are goals for the relationship. And a lot of times the financial aspect helps to get you to that place in life. So what are your goals? And then put it down, put this within your financial spending plan. And it should help alleviate, it should help pretty much eliminate any disagreements, any fights about money, as long as y'all are doing what the plan says. Now, excuse me, when you want to deviate from the plan, I say, if you're dealing with a rational person, like I told you, a person that's that's not feeding into addictions, but a rational person, you should be able to meet. You're wanting something, the partner is wanting something else. There should be a place in there that you both are able to see each other's side. Like, I want to say a middle ground or a higher ground. I like to eliminate stress in my life. So anything that I feel is a barrier to my happiness that is going to potentially be stressful to me, I find ways to mitigate it or to eliminate it. And by having a spending plan, I have found this to be the number one best way for us to pretty much eliminate any disagreements that we would have about money. Now, me and my husband are very different in our money philosophies. He is truly like an abundance mentality type person. I feed off of him for that. I started more in a scarcity mindset and moved toward an abundant, wealthy mindset. But my husband, he was already there when I met him. He was just like, money comes to me. He doesn't worry about money. It just comes to him. However, when we came together as a union, we made sure that I was putting his needs, he was putting my needs, making sure our needs were met within this relationship. And that includes how we handle money. So I'm not going to do things that he's uncomfortable with, and he's not going to do things that I'm uncomfortable with our finances. And having this spending plan just helps to ensure that we are sticking to what we said we were going to do, and we are on track to reaching our goals as a family. I hope this information was beneficial to you. If you do have a spending plan and you notice that it has helped to eliminate fights or disagreements, let me know down below. If you have any other tips dealing with the finances and helping to eliminate disagreements and fights within a relationship, put that down below too. That could definitely help some people out. All the best to you.